Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ileana. If you're already part of this wonderful family, thank you so much for continuing to watch and to support. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you guys step by step on how I achieve a super glowy, dewy, and luminous foundation look. As always, make sure that we subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell so you are notified every single time that I upload a new video. Make sure that we give this video a big thumbs up. Now, before I make this intro super long like I always do, let's go ahead and jump into the video.
Hold up.
Okay, so I already did my skincare for the day. I went ahead and I moisturized. I added a little bit of extra facial oil onto my skin for today just so I can get that extra moisture locked in and ready to go. Okay, so the first step that is very important in your foundation routine is to make sure that you are nice and hydrated. So I'm going to be taking a facial spray. The one that I have been using right now is this one by NYX. This is the Bear With Me multitasking spray. You can use this to set, refresh, and also prime your skin. Another one that I have really been loving and smells so good is this one from the brand e.l.f. This is the Glow Mist. This one smells so good. It has coconut and argan oil and it's just amazing on the skin. These are obviously both water-based, and then the foundation that I'm going to be going in is also water-based, so it kind of like complements each other. So I'm going to go in first with my NYX Bear With Me spray, just to make sure I'm nice and hydrated. So the next thing that you want to go in with is just any kind of primer. You can just prime your face with this. I like to go in with something that's a little bit pore minimizing. This one is by Benefit. This is the Hydrate POREfessional. This is also water-based, so it totally complements the actual facial spray and foundation today. Right in my T-zone area, and I'm going to really focus this just where my pores are the most visible and the largest. The next thing that I'm going to be doing, and this is something that I actually learned from watching, YouTube videos here on YouTube, is actually placing my highlighter underneath my foundation to give it a little bit of that extra glow from within feel. So two highlighters that I've actually been loving is this one by Iconic London. This is their Illuminator, and this one is actually a liquid highlight, which I absolutely love underneath my foundations. Another one that I really have been loving just because it gives such a soft, beautiful glow from within feel. This is actually from the brand Milani, and this is their Strobelight in the shade Afterglow. This is super soft, but it gives such a beautiful glow from within, and it's just absolutely stunning. So I'm going to go ahead and place this right on my cheekbones. I'm also going to be taking a little bit right on the temples, which is where the light hits. If you are looking at me, these two spots are right where the light is hitting, so you want to make sure that you're highlighting those areas. A little bit on my chin, and then the other side as well. I love my glow, I love my dew, I love my luminosity. I just love it, especially because I do have dry skin, so give me the glow. So as you guys have noticed, I'm going to be offering different variety of products just to kind of give you guys a little bit of some options that you can choose when doing your makeup and doing this foundation routine. For foundation, the ones that I really have been loving is this one from Maybelline. This is the Fit Me Dewy and Smooth, and I absolutely love this one. It gives a nice smoothing effect to the skin. And another one that I am actually going to be using in today's video is this one from Wet n Wild. This is their Photo Focus foundation, and this is actually in the dewy version, which I absolutely love. I love it more than the original, obviously, because I do have dry skin. So this is the foundation I'm going to be going in with today, and I'm going to go ahead and place that all over. Now, the one thing that I do recommend when going in with a foundation for a dewy look is that you do want to use a beauty sponge instead of a brush. You can do a brush first to kind of get more coverage, and then you really want to go in with a beauty sponge and just kind of press it into the skin, because it kind of gives it a little bit more of a natural skin look instead of caking it on your face. So in reference to the highlight from earlier, here you can see it is a very luminous foundation, but you can also see that highlight from underneath kind of peeking through, and it just makes you look like you're glowing from within, and I absolutely love it. Okay, so the next step that we are going to be going into is actually concealing. So two of the concealers that I've actually really been loving is the ColourPop pretty fresh hydrating concealer. Obviously, anything that is going to be hydrating is going to be a perfect match for your foundation routine when you're going for something that's very dewy. Another one that I've really been liking is the e.l.f. Camo one, but in the hydrating version. So this is the concealer from e.l.f. and I've actually been really loving these two. Sometimes I do a little mixture of both just to kind of get a little bit extra coverage. I'm going to be actually taking the e.l.f. hydrating concealer and just placing that right underneath the eyes. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out. This is where I'm going to be doing any of my concealing and highlighting. I just feel like a beauty blender gives you such a more natural finish as opposed to using a brush. A brush kind of feels like it's a little bit caked on, at least on me. All right, now the next thing that you usually would do is basically set that in place and then go in with any powder bronzers or anything like that. But key to creating something that is dewy and natural looking is actually using creams. So I'm gonna be taking a foundation stick. This one is actually from the brand Hailey's, and this is in the shade 4.25. This is their foundation and contouring stick. It is a very neutral toned bronzer, so I'm going to be taking that and actually just placing some of this foundation stick onto my skin using a flat kabuki brush. I'm taking my Sigma F80, and what I'm going to do is just kind of place a little bit on the flat kabuki and then go ahead and place that onto the skin. I just find that it makes it look a little bit more natural and dewier when you're going in with cream products as opposed to all powder products, just because the powders can tend to dry up your look. So I'm gonna just take that and basically start chiseling out the cheeks and contouring with this bronzer. I've really been loving this foundation stick from Hailey's Beauty. It's super nice. It's so creamy. It literally blends out like a dream. Does not look cakey on top of your foundation. It's so smooth, and I just love the way it makes my skin look. And just kind of bring a little bit of color into the skin. Okay, now with a slimmer brush, something like this, I actually got this in one of my boxy charms, and it's super compact, very slim. I'm gonna grab the same foundation stick, add a little bit onto this, and just do a little bit of contour on the nose. Now we're actually going to be going in and setting the face. So I'm going to be taking this Ciate London. This is an Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder. I'm going to just take a little bit of this and put that right underneath the eye. What I really like about this powder, it is absolutely super fine, that it's not even going to look cakey at all. And that's what you really want to go for, is take powders that are really fine and use that underneath the eye, so that way it doesn't look cakey or like there's a lot of buildup. So I'm just going to set a little bit right underneath the eye. I don't want to go too crazy, and I don't want to bake, because baking is just going to be taking all of that you just did and basically mattifying it. So you don't want to do that. Just a very light set with the powder. Usually I used to actually use this Fit Me Dewy and Smooth setting powder, and I used to just place this on the rest of my face, but right now I've actually really been loving this Jaclyn loose powder. This is her Mood Luminous powder, and I've actually really been liking this. This does give such a beautiful like luminosity to the skin while setting it, so I'm going to be using her powder today. And the way that I've been loving to apply it is just taking a little bit, putting it right into the cap, and then with my beauty sponge, I'm gonna be just pressing it into the skin. So you can see that it's setting the face, but it's not taking the actual glow away from your skin. It's just kind of giving it a little bit of a natural glow. I also really like this powder because it has such a nice smoothing effect. I absolutely love it. And it definitely does not feel or look cakey on your skin. So you can see that it did do a nice job of setting it, but you can still see that my face is glowing. It doesn't look totally mattified as if you were to use another mattifying powder that just kind of takes away all the shine, and it basically defeats the entire purpose of creating a dewy look. So I'm going to be taking this e.l.f. bronzer, and this is what this one looks like, and this is actually in the shade Forever Sunkissed. This is from the brand e.l.f., and I'm just going to be kind of placing that where I did the cream contour, just to make sure that it's nice and set and just kind of emphasizes it. Again, you can still really see that glow from within, even though I'm using a powder, because I didn't really powder my entire face with a mattifying primer. Okay, so moving on to blush. Now, something that I do recommend is using something that does have a little bit of a luminosity to it. Now, some people do not like using shiny or shimmery blushes, but in this case, I'm creating something that's very luminous and very dewy looking, so I do recommend going in with something that has a little bit of a shine to it. Okay, so the blush I'm using today is actually from the cosmetic brand Milani. This is their famous Luminoso. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this somewhere in the beauty world, because this is probably one of their most famous blushes, and I'm going to be taking my Alamar brush, and I'm just going to be taking a little bit of that. I'm just placing that right onto the cheekbones. Love this blush too. It's so peachy and creamy and just beautiful. I absolutely love this blush. So pretty. All right, so you can go ahead and just let your face sit like this, or you can go back with a little bit of highlight. I don't want to go anything too crazy because I like that natural looking glow also when I'm doing this look. So I'm going to go back in with the Milani highlighting powder, and I'm just going to add a little bit to my cheekbones right on there to kind of give a little bit of that extra luminous look. Okay, so the last and final step is just to basically set your entire face, obviously with something that is going to be very, very dewy on the skin. So I'm going to go ahead and use my e.l.f. one that I did show you guys earlier in the video, and this is the Glow Dewy Mist. I'm going to go ahead and spray that all over the face. All right, now I'm going to be using my beauty sponge and basically just pressing that into the skin, making sure everything is nice and blended together. So that pretty much wraps up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed my tutorial on how I create a beautiful, glowy, dewy, and luminous foundation routine. Make sure that we subscribe to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up before leaving today, and I will see you guys in my next video. Ciao, guys!